What's up, guys? I'm Amber and today we are talking about school. This is off to a bad start already. Today we're going to be talking about lit. Not like the new word that people are using, like, yeah, that's so lit. No, I'm talking about like the subject in school where you were supposed to learn things. I am math brained. I always have been and I probably always will be. I am good at math. I am very good at math. I like math. I graduated high school with 6 math credits and yet somehow managed to almost fail physics. That could be a whole video all on its own, actually. Ideas! Moving on. So, I am very math brained. So lit has always been something that I just cannot even... Nope, I can't. It doesn't work, okay, for me. My brain does not work like that. I'm also 50% sure that I might probably be maybe slightly dyslexic. It's not like bad, like I've never been like diagnosed with dyslexia. I know it's like a real like thing, but it's just bad enough that, you know, numbers get switched around and letters and words. I really actually might be dyslexic. Okay, so basically, I'm discussing my issue with lit. Firstly, let's go to like standardized testing version of lit, right? So you've got like this side of lit over here where it's like the English portion and you've got to write an essay about something of which you care nothing about. So your essay is just a piece of garbage. And you're like, wow, I'm so gonna fail this entire thing because, wow, they wanted me to write about what? It's like, write about your favorite time period. And so I just put down a random time period and make up just a whole bunch of stuff that I thought I liked about it. And, you know, somehow I've always passed. I don't know. But it's like they always ask you to write about the most obscure thing. Like your favorite childhood memory. And I'm like, what if I have more than one? What if I can't decide? What if I can't write a whole paper about it? Anyway, so you move on from the essay and you go to like the comprehension part of the English portion, right? Portion. You go to the English portion, the comprehension part, and they give you a random story and like random questions and they're like, hey, tell me about this story. And it's like the weirdest thing ever. Like, okay, you give me a book. I can read a book. I can tell you all about the book. I can give you the climax and the falling action. And I can give you all of those types of things. I can tell you who the main characters were, like the protagonist and the antagonist. And I can tell you all that stuff. You give me a book and I can read it and I can comprehend what it tells me. And then all of a sudden you give me a random story about a dog and a rocket ship with a grasshopper and I have lost it. I don't know what you're talking about. Why does this story exist? And you know, the person who wrote the test, they agree with me. They're also asking, why does this story exist? What is the purpose of this story? And I'm like, I don't know. And they expect me to answer the correct answer. And I'm like, what? And then you go down like later and it's like, so what did you get out of this story? And I'm like, how is this a multiple choice question? This is very subjective. Everybody's going to get something different out of this story. Me personally, I got nothing. What do I have to learn from a dog and a grasshopper and a rocket ship? Seriously? So basically I'm here and I'm reading this story and it just makes absolutely no sense. They're asking me all sorts of random questions and I actually got a really, really low score on that on my ACT and my SAT and I had to take those like other tests for it when I got into college because I'm terrible at those things, okay? It's awful. So off of the standardized testing, which by the way only creates standardized people, but this is getting very political now and I won't go into that. Moving on. So, in the actual class of lit, where you have like a teacher teaching you things, so you're in class and you have a teacher and they're teaching you things and they send you home with like homework and they tell you to write an essay and it's like, yes, okay, here's your instructions. And I'm like, great, I can do that. It's like, yeah, answer these 5 questions in this essay entitled this. And I'm like, yeah, cool, I got you. And so I'm there and I'm like writing my essay, right? And I'm putting it all down on paper and I get it and I answer all the questions and it's like a good page and a half, right? Like it looks great and everything is like perfect. And then you read the rest of the instructions. And it says, must be at least 3 pages. I'm like, 3 pages? I already told you I'm dyslexic. I can't spell. You just asked me to add a whole bunch of other words to this thing. I also can't punctuate. So I have my 1.5 page paper, and so I'm sitting there and I'm changing words around and I'm making them longer and I'm trying to make sentences longer and I'm adding a whole bunch of fluff, which I hate. I hate fluff. And I hate it so much, and so I'm there, and I'm having to add fluff in, and I'm having to make it longer, and then you've got all this stuff happening, and so then I finally get done, and it's finally 3 pages. And then I get it back. And then it's just got red marks everywhere. In that horrible red pen that all teachers use, okay? I say that, I actually had a teacher that used purple, which made me not necessarily like the color purple. Anyway, so I'm there and I get my paper back, and there's always like this section that's like circled in red, and it's like, I'm not really sure what you were talking about. And I'm like, me neither. I had to change my stuff around so much that I don't know where my original answer is. And then there's another section that's like at the bottom, and it's like this massive section. It's circled in red, and it's like, I don't know why this is here. It's completely irrelevant. You're the one that wanted it to be 3 pages, not me. That added like a whole 7 lines to my paper. I don't care if it's irrelevant. My paper was as long as you wanted it to be. So basically, I end up getting a C on every paper, because if I turn it in a 1.5 pages, you deduct me for it not being long enough. But then if I make it a full 3 pages, I've added so many extra words that I can't spell, and I haven't punctuated correctly, so you mark off for all that, and then I just end up getting a C anyway. I agree. So, you know, that was my rant about lit. Alright, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed my rant about literature, of which I can't do. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Also, if you're new here, subscribe. And until next time, guys. Say bye.